I'd like to just talk about some of the items that we're going to use during our facial treatment. We're going to use some cotton roll, and you can get this at a pharmacy and all sorts of places, sell it, and it's just a nice roll of nice thick plush pure cotton. And what I like to do is create a little eye mask out of this, and as you can see, the cotton is in many layers, so I'm just going to peel back a few layers here so that it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to snip it down here with my scissors, and get ourselves a good rectangular piece, and you're going to see what I'm going to do with this nice rectangular piece of cotton. I'm going to roll this back up and put it back in my bag so that it keeps it from getting dirty. So now I have my piece of cotton here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over to start off with, alright, and then I'm going to trim the corners and just make this round it off just here. Now you can use facial cosmetic pads if you wish, but I find that this mask, this eye pad, let's call it that, is larger. It doesn't fall apart on you, and it certainly is wonderful for the client. Now all we do is we simply take this, give it a twist in the middle, and you have yourself a lovely eye pad. And what I do with it is, and I'll do it right now to show you, is I just dip it into the herbal infusion, alright, and then get it nice and moist, of course not dripping wet, and it's ready to go. And so that I will put onto my client's eyes during her facial treatment, and we have a really nice eye pad that we can lay on our client, and you can see it's sort of like a pair of glasses. It's got place for the nose, and it'll go over really nicely. Okay, so that's some of the preparatory items that we've looked at here. What I like to do is just take a piece of gauze and just lay this across your gauze until you're ready to use it, and you can always moisten it some more as you go along. I'm going to set this on my table here on my trolley, and we'll do that. We're going to be using a 8% alpha hydroxy acid in this treatment. So what you need to have is, you must have a glass bowl. You cannot use the alpha hydroxy acid in a steel or metallic container, and along with this you'll need a fan brush. I like to use the nylon silk brushes. They're nice and soft, and you're going to need those two items for your alpha hydroxy acid. To prevent cross-contamination, I have here some small little metallic medicine cups. I have a few of them. And so what I'm going to do is, before my client comes in and I start my facial, I'm just going to simply dispense my product like this into, I'm just dispensing it into the container so that I'm not going to have any cross-contamination of product. So that would be my cleanser, and I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take a little spatula, and I'm going to dispense our Echogenics Microdermabrasion Cream into the container like this. Make sure that I have enough for the facial, and of course all of these have been sterilized before I started, and I'm going to set that over there on my trolley. Okay, I'm going to take myself another spatula, a nice clean one, and then we're going to dispense out the Echogenics Mineral Mask Souffle. So you need a good serving of that, in your container as well, and that's going to go on my client when we get to that part. And again, I'm going to set that aside on my trolley. I'm going to close these up, and at this point I can actually take my products and move them away from the area that I'm working, so that we are not tempted to cross-contaminate them. One more thing I'd like to put into my container is the Ecogenics moisturizer, and I'm just going to take a small scoop of that and put that into my little container as well, and we're going to set that aside. So you see, we're all set up and ready to go, and we don't have to hunt around and look for stuff, and at the same time everything is in its own little container specifically for this client. I like to have a garbage can nearby so that I can throw away any of the items, like paper items and so on and so forth, that I've used. You can, during the cleansing process, you can use a real hairbrush. They're nice. This fits into my facial machine. I'll show you how that works. We have our facial handpiece here. It's connected to my facial machine, and what we do is you simply insert the brush into there, give it a little twist. This little button here will have my brush go 2 different ways, counterclockwise and clockwise, and you'll see how I use that when we start going through the facial treatment. And now there is a little brush as well, just a small one, and that's for going down the nose and little areas, the upper lip and the chin and so on and so forth, and that we will use as well. So I'm going to set that aside in my area that's clean. Couple more items you will need is you need yourself a really nice mask brush. Again, it's just a silk mask brush, and we're going to use this mask brush when we're applying our mineral souffle mask, so we need that. And to go with our mask brush, like I said, we have a little container and we just dispense it into there. It's much easier to handle. You can, if you want to, you can use a rubber mixing bowl, and you can put your mask in, give it a nice stir, and you can use it in a bowl like this as well. One other item we're going to use is our high frequency. This one is the violet high frequency, and it's made specifically for germicidal and sterilizing areas that we've done extractions. And it's very simple to use. You must always follow manufacturer's instructions whenever you're using any equipment, and definitely do not use the equipment if you've not been trained to use it, because it could be, it could be detrimental. You don't want to, work with something you don't know about. So anyway, we're going to take our mushroom probe, and we're going to very gently slide it into the handpiece, and we have our high frequency handpiece and mushroom probe ready to go when we do the extractions. Now what we can do is we can use the high frequency when we get to the skin serum step, but it's not really necessary, because our skin serum diffuses into the skin by process of osmosis and is really effective. It's a lovely product for that. So I do believe that at that point we've covered everything. Make sure that you have a number of Q-tips. They're always good for applying treatments, and I'm going to show you how to use some of these products over the eyes. What you can have as well is keep at the side yourself some round cotton pads. Alright, they're also very useful during a facial treatment. You also want to have yourself a good supply of 4x4 gauze, and you will need to wrap your client's head with a with a towel, and I have here a nice new headband, and we're going to use this one on our client as well. And I'm just going to show you the nice headband we're going to use that has the Velcro that will stick it down, and I'll show you how we put that on. So a few little sundry items that you need. And so we're ready to go. So we'll get our model set up and we'll start this facial for you.